Right, hello you lot. I'm joined today by my good friend Morganwhovian. Do you want to say
Hello.
hi? Um, Today we're gonna be doing some more Am I the Arsehole posts. So let's get started.
You trying to share the screen there?
Yeah,
Um, oh, there you go.
right. So the first one is gonna be Am I the Arsehole for confirming that my wife comes second place. My daughter is 14. The divorce between me and her mum is still an open wound, but we try our best to make everything feel as normal as possible with the split. I'll be married I'll be married to my wife, Isla. My daughter, my daughter isn't mean, but she does not view her as a mum, which in my opinion is okay as long as she's respectful, which she is. They do plenty together. They go out, took an interest in cooking together, watching shows together, etc. I've told Isla to be patient with my daughter. If something is wrong, I'd expect her to come to me and I will talk with my daughter and make sure we resolve the issue. But as far as the harsh part of my parenting, mm, that's up to me. So the other day, my daughter came to me saying she wanted to go to her mother's. I asked why she did because she looked upset. She said to ask my wife. I called her mum and she said she'd pick her up, but hasn't heard any issues from my daughter. My daughter's birthday is coming up. We are doing a quinceanera for her.
No idea what that is.
Sorry if I've butchered her. She's very excited. So Isla went to my daughter saying she wanted to have whatever that word is,
What is
just with
that?
us. I think it's I don't know. It's basically a birthday, like 60th birthday.
Sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's some thingy. I know it's a 16th anyway, or 13th.
It,
Teenagers anyway. Just with us, meaning without her mother or her family. When my daughter said, let's see, for what? When my daughter said she wanted for what? When my daughter said she wanted her mum there, especially because of how big of a deal this is, and Isla was pretty much trying to force the issue and telling her that she can do one here and just as big. My daughter asked why she's trying to leave her mum out of such an important event. And Isla got mad at her for that and accused her of being bratty. And if she wants her mum so bad, she should go there. I was confused because what the fuck? What argument even is that? First of all, there's a reason she went behind my back and told my daughter. Second of all, she's not even my kid's mother. And the more she tried to replace her, the more my daughter will resent her. Third of all, she's never welcome to insult my daughter because of her issues. And I don't know where and why she thought this would fly. I told this, I told her this, and her argument was that she wanted to be noticed by my daughter and why I care so little about her feelings. I told her my daughter notices her. They go out in girl days weekly, go out, watch movies together, etc. My daughter has been plenty invi- in- inviting to her, frankly. I'm surprised at how well she's opened up to her, but now she will have to earn her trust back. She again asked why I keep ta- ta- taking my daughter's side and not meeting her in the middle. I told her she's wrong here, simply as that. No, simple as that. I could have I could have if she didn't do it like this. I told her that if she expects me to turn on my daughter, she's out of her mind, and my daughter comes first in any situation. She started crying and accused me of saying she's in second place, to which I confirmed I would never want her to put me over a kid she left and now isn't speaking to me. I've asked my daughter if this behaviour was consistent. She said that she felt like Isla makes a point to not talk about her mum, but talk about her mum, but nothing this extreme.
Oh my God. Well, to be fair, when you first started reading it, I was like, well, that person seems all right. But then you got halfway through it, it was like, well, something's going wrong there. Then when you just read the last point, when you said, I told her, I told her that if she expected me to tell my daughter, she's out of her mind, and the daughter comes first in any situation. That's the point I was like, well, you're a complete asshole then, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Like the stepmom's defo a fucking bitch.
Well, something's definitely wrong there.
Yeah, I'd say the dad defo like not in the wrong. Because it's like he's putting his daughter first, and it's up to the daughter who she wants to invite, not the stepmom.
Exactly, but you know, each to their own, I guess.
You know?
It's a bit weird that one.
Yeah, definitely. Am I the arsehole for refusing to babysit again until my nephew is better behaved? I, female 20, babysit for my older sister Becky, female 35, on a regular basis. Becky and her husband both work full time and are really well off. They could easily afford a nanny, but feel uncomfortable with the idea of someone they don't know personally look after their kids. Becky pays me £9 an hour to look after my nephew and nieces. Becky's kids are Max, male 12, Bella, F8, and Eve, F7. Bella and Eve give me no trouble at all. They are polite, thoughtful little girls, and I've hardly had to discipline them. Max, however, is a different story. I love my nephew, but he is a very difficult kid. Becky told me that he has been diagnosed with ADHD. His
Well, all,
behavior,
all I can say is so far, um, I already know this person's an asshole already
yeah, definitely,
because they've just said that he's a difficult kid, but he has conditions. So
yeah,
either he's not, either he's difficult or he just has problems.
exactly. His behavior has gotten a lot worse over the past month, and every single time I babysit, Max argues with me. It is stressful, and I'm tired of dealing with this one on a regular basis. I've talked to Becky about his increasingly worse behaviour and says he's just becoming a teenager. Max is always glued to his Xbox video games and gets angry when I asked him to do mundane things like come downstairs for dinner, get ready for bed, etc. He is extremely stubborn. I normally babysit them in the evening, so getting Max to bed at a reasonable time is usually the biggest source of stress. His bedtime is 10:30. The last time I was babysitting, which was last week, it was 10 p.m. and I told Max he needs to finish the game he's on, then get ready for bed. Max raised his voice at me and told me to go away. I told Max that it's not up for debate and that his bedtime is a set rule. Max got really mad, started yelling at me to get out of his room and started cussing. I told Max his sisters were sleeping and to lower his voice. Max lost his temper and told me that I can't tell him what to do. He started having a major meltdown. He threw his Xbox controller at the TV and was screaming his head off. I told Max I'm going to leave his room and come back once he's calmed down. I got distracted with Bella and Eve, who were woken up and confused and frightened, and Max had fallen asleep in the 20 minutes I was gone. I decided not to babysit for Becky again in the near future until behaves. His behaviour is better, as I find looking after Max too much, and frankly, don't want to deal with him. I talked to Becky about this, and she said, "Isn't that what I'm paying you to do?" She thinks I'm being silly and told me that stress is a part of life, and since she's paying me, I should suck it up. Am I the arsehole?
All of them are the assholes.
Yeah, defo.
What? Oh my! Wow! Just wow! Yeah, pretty much all of them are the assholes, really.
Defo, yeah. Like, obviously, Max can't help how he is because he's got ADHD.
No, true. But the um Becky and the other one aren't the asshole.
Yeah, like, I'd say with like the sisters, they're just like kids. They're already asleep and shit like that.
But Max didn't want to go off his game.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. It is a set rule, but you know,
Yeah, it might be a set rule, but like, if you were a kid, you'd be the same if you were playing on a game.
well, mm, hmm.
I would 100%, mate. I do that. I'm up till 1 in the morning, maybe fucking 6 in the morning sometimes.
While playing on games.
Yeah,
Well, to be fair, I've actually done it until like 3 a.m. Oh yes, that was just a confession then. But yeah, I wouldn't have a meltdown about it.
I know.
I'm mad at myself for making rules regarding husband's new motorcycle. My husband, unbeknownst to me, bought a new motor, bought, bought a motorcycle from his best friend at work. It is a studi old Honda from the early ousts to nearly near mint condition. I'm horrified. My mother is a nurse and raised me to believe we have a word in the EL for motorcyclists. We call them organ donors. And made my brother and I promise never to ride on or get one. Um, we have a beautiful 6 month baby at home, our first. Initially, I demanded he returned it, and he says this was a lifelong dream to own a bike, and kept saying, "How great is it to be on gas?" I said, "Okay, keep it, but don't drive it over 30 miles per hour, and don't take it out of the neighborhood." In brackets, we have a lot of side roads. Close bracket. Um, I said he could take it up to the lake where he and his friends go fishing. As long if he promises he won't drive it over 30 and stays off the highway, IOW tows it up there on a trailer behind our car. He he says I am a control being a controlling happy and sucks up all the fun out of his new toy. All I could see was him splashing all the um and whatever the hell that is. And our daughter asks me, why is daddy in heaven? Why is my daddy in heaven one day? Um am I the asshole for trying to establish motorcycle rules? Um I'd say no.
No, not really, because like at the end of the day, loads of accidents do happen with motorbikes,
Mm,
and it's just like like he's acting like I don't even
yeah,
know. It's like basically loads of accidents do happen with them. And it's like
yeah,
if he gets like severely hurt, he'll realise that like it was a mistake.
true, true. I wonder what the next one will be then. Let's see what's next one. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one. Am I an asshole for still going to my sister's wedding after my husband cancelled the plane ticket? Well, I can already answer that question. Probably yes. But I'll read the situation. Here's the situation. My husband, 36, and I, 30, have three kids, 2, 4, and 7. I am a it's not hard, whatever the hell that is, full time. And I take care of the kids whilst my husband works, in brackets full time. My sister's wedding was last week and we live hours away, which is an issue for my husband. When first we got the invite, he told me that he wasn't going, that he would stay for the kids and suggest I do the same. Since the wedding doesn't allow kids and my husband doesn't want to hire a babysitter for the one for after the one we had robbed us. We had gone back and forth on this, and I insisted on going since it's my only sister, and I wanted to attend what could have been the once in a lifetime event for her. He chuckled at my statement, and then we stopped talking about it. As the wedding was approaching, he brought it up and he told me to miss it and stay with the kids. I suggested that since there were no babysitters allowed, then I could get my friend to stay with the kids, but he refused. I ignored him and spoke to my friend who agreed to watch the kids and booked the ticket to travel to my sister's town in time. My husband found out and went on about how he had work and that the most logistical situation is that I stay at home with the kids and let him make a living. I told him I already take care of the kids and they will stay with my friend. Honestly, I grew impatient. The day of my flight, I dropped the kids off at my friend's place and headed to the airport. I found out that drove he had cancelled the plane ticket. I was upset and still insisted on going. So went home, got in my car, and drove 4 hours to get to town. Oh dear. At 5 p.m., my husband called and was freaking out on me, asking where I was. I told him I made it to my sister's town, and he blew up saying I wasn't supposed to go. He even said he cancelled the ticket to get me to stay. He demanded I return, but I said not until after the wedding is finished. He called me horrible and neglectful mom. I'm not saying mom because that's American and I'm English. Then he had his mum scold me and accuse me of abandoning my own kids. There was a huge argument ensued when I returned home, and my husband kept saying I was horrible for leaving the kids, and to ignore him like that and do what I wanted eventually. He's giving me the silent treatment as of now, and I can no longer take it. I felt guilty and did not enjoy the wedding at all. Was I wrong for still going? Information My husband dislikes my sister even if it's relevant. Well, mm, I who's meant to be the asshole in this situation?
But I feel like the husband's probably supposed to be off, so it's like I agree with the wife.
Mm?
Just because like this is her only sister, and like it is like a big thing to miss because it's
Yeah,
like he must be dead close with her sister and that, so she obviously doesn't want to miss it.
yeah, it's one of them things, really, if I'm honest. Like, yeah, she didn't want to miss the wedding, but I mean, she could have stayed there, and took the kids with her, but I guess she couldn't.
Nah, it's like I get like obviously she's got to look after the kids, but it's like s- why does she always have to look after the kids? Can't she
But,
have a break?
but yeah, exactly. That's the point. So yeah, I do agree with you on that matter. I think that the husband is actually in the wrong there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll, I'll,
100%.
what's the next one?
Right, this is gonna be the last one.
Fair enough. Want me to read it, or you?
I'll read it. Am I the arsehole for blowing up at my sister after she didn't pick up the cake for my wedding? Um, I, at 31, got married a few days ago, and that's when all of this went down. I still feel really upset, and most people who know of the situation are understanding, but some are calling me selfish and an arse. My sister, Liz, F29, was supposed to was, was supposed to pick up the wedding cake and bring it to the venue. She wasn't a part of the bridal party. I wanted her to be my maid of honor, but she refused because she had so many feelings going on. Her words. So she wasn't going to come early with them, but she offered to pick it up from the bakery and bring it when they came at the start of the ceremony. We wanted to cut the cake straight after dinner, which would be served after the ceremony, and then dancing and drinks later. So many things were going wrong during the wedding planning, so I thought this was one thing someone would have my back for. During the ceremony, I couldn't see Liz or her husband anywhere, but I wasn't very paying attention as I thought they might just gone out for air or something. The ceremony went well. The caterers were starting to bring dinner out. When I heard something, what the ceremony went well. The caterers were starting to bring dinner. Wait, oh, I've just read that, haven't I? When
Yeah.
I heard that Liz wasn't here, and neither was the cake, I tried calling her, and my parents also called her multiple times, but she didn't pick up. I guess I was losing my cool a bit because my husband told me to calm down and he'd call the bakery. When they said that the cake hasn't even been picked up at this time, Liz finally decided to call back. She sounded like she was crying and said she was sorry for not getting the cake. She got caught up with something of her husband. Before I could ask anything, she hung up. I was losing my mind at this point. Yes, I know it might seem a bit dramatic for all the fuss over a cake, but I didn't want to encounter these sorts of problems on my wedding day. We ended up having to delay the cake cutting until right at the end after groomsman literally bolted to pick it up. and the bakery was pretty far from the venue too. Mum left after the speeches. I asked her why she was leaving, and she said that Liz messaged her and she's going to check on them. Dad stayed at least, but it still stung that Mum left like this. The rest of the reception went smoothly enough. The next day I messaged Liz saying that she could at least let someone know as soon as possible that she couldn't attend or pick up the cake, and it would have saved a lot of headache. Mind you, I was very polite despite the drama she caused. Liz went off on me, cursing me out and calling me all sorts of names. I blew up after that and said that not everything's about her and she couldn't do anything for me in this big moment of my life. And even Mum left for her. My parents are saying that I went overboard and need to apologise to Liz. ETA, I found out later Liz's husband collapsed and was taken to hospital, which I understand, but my point was that she could have at least told someone.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Is her parents real?
I know.
My parents are saying that I went to her brother to apologize to Liz.
Oh, no.
No. This person was let down by her mate. Or was it sister?
Sister.
Yeah, let down by her own sister. So if that was my wedding, I would have done exactly the same.
Exactly.
What? That's that's ridiculous. So yeah, the sister is the asshole in the situation.
100%. Like, yeah,
Actually,
like, what?
also isn't the mum is too.
Yeah, because she left as well. Like, yeah, I get it. Your sister's fella collapsed and taken to hospital, but like, you could have still texted to let people know.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I won't be here and I won't bring the cake because my husband's clams for. Oh no, then I'm just gonna abandon the entire situation and fix up one thing. All I can say is she needs to get her head from out of her ass because she needs to sort and priorities out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, I've just sworn. There you go. First swear word.
Sound then.
Did the
Right.
recording?
I'll stop sharing my screen.
Fair enough. When did it stop recording then?
Right, we've got 10 minutes left. Let's do an outro.
Oh well, I've got an outro.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I'm actually gonna nick your outro. Actually, considering it's your channel. And if you've actually made it to the end of this video, then comment down below. Happy days.
Yeah. Right, hello. Post editing me, future me, shit like that. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and put notifications on. Have a great day. Comment happy days. Yeah, 100%.
There you go. And also subscribe to me, Morganwhovian.
And subscribe to me, Lauren.
Well, it's your channel, so why not? But I still have an army though.
And I've still got a coat.
Nah. I've got a hot chocolate army. Hmm. Yeah, still subscribing to me. Morganwhovian.
In
It's classic.
a
Yes.
bit, then you lot.